It's time for Recipe of the Day. What are your cooking goals for 2025? I have to tell you that now that both of my kids are teenagers, I am leaning into a little more spice and trying some new things because they're just that little bit more adventurous. And so on this day 2 of 2025, I'm telling you how to make one of my new favorites, air fryer blistered shishito peppers. They turn out so great in the air fryer. They only take 6 minutes at 400 degrees Fahrenheit. I've seen a lot of recipes with longer cooking times. I'm telling you, they get too soft and just don't have the nice texture you want. And they are already blackened after just the 6 minutes. That's all you need. So, okay, first, what are shishito peppers? They are a small green pepper from East Asia. They're pretty thin, a few inches long. They are a shiny, kind of light green color. And then they have these like creases running along them. Now, while they are usually mild in flavor, about 1 in 10 of them can be quite spicy. You can even make a game of it where everybody is munching on their peppers and you call out if you get one of the spicy ones. You know what I mean? Now, these are great as an appetizer with a dipping sauce, but my favorite way to do them is alongside like meat like steak or chicken or even salmon with some shrimp. You kind of like cut them as you go and add a little bite of pepper to your little bite of meat. Really tasty, adds so much flavor and, no work. Like I said, it's just those 5 or 6 minutes in the air fryer and they take like 3 seconds to prep. Okay, so how do you make these? Start by preheating your air fryer to 400 degrees Fahrenheit. I don't always preheat my air fryer because it gets so hot so quickly in there, but you really want these to go in and get hot really quickly. That's going to make them sizzle and pop. And that's because the peppers are sealed. We're cooking them whole, so they're like sealed unto themselves. And so when they get hot, the air inside gets like pressurized and then it kind of explodes. So you'll hear like sizzling and popping coming out of your air fryer. Super fun. So you do want it nice and hot, 400 degrees Fahrenheit for 3 minutes. While it's preheating, you get your 8-ounce bag of whole shishito peppers and you're going to toss them with 2 teaspoons of olive oil. Then once your 3 minute of preheating in the air fryer is done, add the peppers to the basket in a single layer and pop it back in there and you're cooking them undisturbed for 5 minutes. You will start hearing that popping and sizzling after, about 2 minutes in there. After those 5 minutes, open it up. Your peppers will probably be softened and blistered in places and then they are done. If they're not, put them back in for 2 or 3 more minutes. Okay. Now, very, very important, you're going to take those peppers out of the air fryer and you're going to make sure you add salt to them. You can do a little squeeze of fresh lemon juice first, about 1/4 teaspoon, but make sure you do the salt. And I like a crunchier salt, like a coarse one. A kosher salt is great, about 1/4 teaspoon for this batch. And then dig in. They are great with a dip, like I said, appetizer. I'm going to tell you, make sure it's a dip that's on the thinner side. These peppers are quite tender at this point. And so if you're trying to plunge them into something that's like, something that's made with like sour cream and cream cheese, a stiffer dip that you could even spread, or like a chip dip that's going to like really hold its shape as you plunge that chip into there, that's not going to work here. The pepper is not even going to plunge into the dip at all. You want something quite a bit thinner, more like a salad dressing, like a ranch dressing or a Caesar salad dressing, that kind of texture, so that when you put the pepper to the dip and it just touches the dip, it kind of goes in very easily and then comes out with that little bit of the dip clinging to it. So if you're doing a dip with these, make sure it's just on the thinner side, and you can just take whatever dip you have and thin it out with a little bit of water or a little bit of olive oil, and that's going to do the trick if it's too thick. Okay, I will put the link for this fun new recipe for you and your teenagers or your other adventurous eaters to try. I will put this in the show notes for you, or you can head to cookthestory.com/ROTD and get it there. Everything there is arranged by date, so it's helpful to know that today is January 2nd of 2025. And if you are looking for more delicious ideas, new adventurous things to do in 2025, make sure you follow me on social media. I am Cook the Story on TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook, and also on Pinterest. I look forward to seeing you in all of those places. Make sure you're following me there. I'm Christine Pittman from cookthestory.com, thecookful.com, the all-new chicken cookbook, and from this podcast, Recipe of the Day. I hope you have a great day. Let's get cooking.